In the know.
Good evening, everyone.
In the know.
Tony Reeves, Tony Reeves, Tony Reeves, Tony Reeves, fire. Following the news in any way, shape, or form. No shortage of things to talk about. What does it mean? What will it bring? This is a reality we simply have to accept. Tony Reeves, fire. Tony Reeves. Let's go ahead and get started.
I want to thank you for tuning in for another edition of Q&A Social Security Disability Today. For the next couple of weeks, I'm going to give you what I call my step-by-step guide to understanding your disability hearing notice. So these videos are going to actually broadcast daily from now for the next, I think I have 14 of these. There'll be a break on the first Wednesday in December because that'll be my Disability Talk live show. But in the interim, sit back and enjoy. All right, so let's go ahead and get first started on the first one. So this is how it typically works. You've got your hearing notice, and you're probably saying to yourself, okay, I got all this paperwork telling me that I got a hearing coming up. So what happens next? So what we're going to do is we're not going to just kind of fly through it. Each one of the days is just talking about each one of the sections that's in your hearing notice and giving you a better understanding of what's going on with it. So let's start with part one. Part one is where it says attend your hearing. I know this may sound overly simplified, but I can't stress this enough. You've waited probably about a year, maybe even 2 years for a hearing. So they want to make it abundantly clear. This notice of hearing is telling you this is your hearing date, your hearing time, your hearing location. Be there or be square. Now, here's the real deal. For a lot of you who find yourselves in real tough situations, it may be that you are unable to travel there. Whether it be because mass transit's not readily available, you don't have a car, you rely heavily on riding a bike or even walking, and it's just too far. If by some reason you are unable to make it there, and there's no way, you need to let Social Security know as early as possible, because there is a possibility that they'll let you appear by phone. But they're going to want to know a good reason, and more likely they're going to want you to put it in writing. So if you know that you're in a situation where your transportation is a wee bit on the funny side, don't let Social Security have to sit there and hope or wonder if you're going to make it. Tell them in advance if you need accommodations like appearing by telephone. Okay? Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. When we come right back, we're going to talk about a couple more things relating to attending your hearing.
Under the Social Security regulations, representatives are permitted to practice before the administrative agency anywhere in the country, which means that when you're looking for a representative, you can find someone who doesn't necessarily have to be in your state if you're just going before the administrative agency. So it's possible to have an attorney or representative who's from Utah, even though you may be in Georgia. And our office is actually no different. So if you're wondering which states we cover, check this out. Now, the tricky part is once you have to sue the Social Security Administration. Under that situation, you want to have an attorney that's representing you in your jurisdiction. So if you have a representative who's in another state and you've gone all the way to the Appeals Council and you've been denied and you want to sue the Social Security Administration, you make sure you ask that representative whether or not they can sue someone in that particular state.
All right, welcome back. Now, for purposes of attending your hearing, make sure you take a valid ID. Now, a lot of people take for granted that you carry a lot of people take for granted that you carry your driver's license with you on a regular basis. So that's usually not a problem. But I can't stress enough how important it is that you make sure you have some form of ID on you. Why? Well, because if you don't have some form of ID on you, you risk the possibility of them not being able to let you in if you cannot accurately identify who you are. I know you're like, that's just insane. It is what it is, people. I just don't want you to be surprised if it happens. Okay? So make sure, I say again, make sure that you have a copy of your ID readily available. So this way, when you come and check in, because you're going to have to check in with a security guard at the front desk, so that you can properly identify you are who you say you are. Take your current medications with you. People, I don't care if you have to put them in a bag, a Ziploc bag, a grab bag, whatever the case may be. Take your medications, and let me stress again, your current medications. Not medications you've taken back in the day, not medications that you run out, medications that you are currently taking. Now, you could probably tell them that you've run out of your medications and you can't afford to pay for them, but they're going to want to know what medications you are currently taking. So make sure you take that list with you. Also, the reality is during the disability process, you may have actually found yourself in a situation where for whatever reason, you had to return back to work, whether it be for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. Make sure you bring whatever proof you have to demonstrate that you returned back to work, or you may have attempted to work after you indicated that you became disabled. All this information is very, very important, so please make sure you have it readily available. Make sure you stay tuned here for our final messages, and make sure you check us out tomorrow as we talk about the acknowledgement form and difficulty attending the hearing.
I want to thank all of you for engaging in the videos. Make sure you take the opportunity to send me any comments or send me any particular questions that you want me to have addressed here. As you know, this show is for you, and so the only way I can make sure that I can provide you some good information is if you provide me some good questions. Keep them coming, and right here on Q&A, Social Security Disability Today.